3, 2, 1, action.
What's up? It's your boy Juhahn Jones, and this is
Audra Lachelle Kincaid.
And we are here because we are starting a podcast called You
Podcasting
Podcasting That? Oh, why did we choose that? I don't know. Maybe because we got like a show and a movie and a whole brand of You Hitting That and You Married That, and it just, who came up with that name?
Well, I said it first and you didn't like it, but then Doe said it.
Yeah,
Doughboy.
I seconded her.
Yeah.
The off-camera menacing Doughboy.
Doughboy's
On
off
his
camera.
own.
And I was playing
The
that.
Doughboy.
The Doughboy is
Yeah.
the reason why I started this podcast, because he was like, yo, you should be getting into the podcast. There's no reason why you shouldn't be doing the podcast. You could be killing. I was like, oh, I don't know. And he was like, yeah, you got to show people your personality more. And I was like, you know what? Right. I only show the sketches for the majority of the time. I do need to tell stories, let people get to know me.
Us.
Yes.
And we do that on live sometimes anyway.
We do.
But I think you are always so focused on like the projects and stuff that you don't open us up as much as maybe I do. So I'm really excited about this. Maybe I'll get to know you.
Oh, maybe. Wow. As you guys can see, she's always snappy with me. And as I was thinking about who I could do this with, I was like, because I could have done it with a lot of folks, but I know that we already have something going on. This could be great promotion for the show.
Makes sense.
For the movie. It just, like you said,
Let me ask you guys a quick question. How did you guys meet, and how did you guys get into the You Hitting That series? Because I want to know. So the streets want to know. How did you guys meet?
Okay.
So Juhahn found me on Instagram. Slid in the DMs. And luckily my brother, and it wasn't like creepy or anything, but it was questionable. And so, my brother was with me. My older brother happened to be with me. So he rode down and we met him at this restaurant.
I'll tell you a story.
Crave.
Crave.
We met him at Crave.
Okay.
Tell her story.
And he was super creepy. We walked in, we were looking for him, and he was like, I see you guys.
I
Like
was
he like
creepy.
messaged me and was like, I see y'all.
Oh,
And
I
we were
messaged
like,
her?
okay.
He messaged you while you were in Crave?
In Crave, because we were looking for him, but he
Right.
was like off on the side.
This sounds realistic.
Yeah, you got a salad. So this is when Juhahn had like 300,000 followers. And he just invited me to start shooting sketches. We had a couple of people we were shooting with, and then it kind of developed into Sketch House. And then I took a little break. I was doing some different things. And you and Dame called me and were like, we have this project. Let's try it. And I was like, okay.
Okay. Well, you guys, that's her story.
Here we go.
So you have a different account of events.
Completely different. Okay. So, yeah. I was like 300,000 on Instagram. I was, on the come up, doing my thing a little bit, but I was getting some viral situations and everything. So, one day I happened to, casually, I think I just got out the shower. I checked my DMs and behold, who was it? Audra.
So now
she
I
slid
send
in your
DMs.
She
DMs.
slid in my DMs, fam. She slid in my
slid?
DMs. And this how the conversation went.
Okay. This is great.
Oh my God. You are hilarious. Oh my gosh. Like my brother and my friends have been like sending me your videos, and I think you are freaking hilarious. You're a genius. And I would be honored to be in your presence and do some work with you if you would allow me to. And I was like, whoa. I mean, thank you. First and foremost, you're a beautiful woman, and I appreciate you actually taking out the time to want to, do some work with me. Where are you? Are you in LA? And everything. She's like, I can be wherever you need to be.
She was straight to the point.
I was straight to the point. Like, she's trying to get the work. I was like, okay, all right. She's hungry, ready to get this work. So I was like, all right, well, let's link up, see if you acted before. She says, I'm acting, I'm in classes and everything, but to get on your level, I'm sure you can coach me. And I was like, I like that. I like that energy. I like that.
You brought me here for lies.
She's loyal. All right.
Another one.
So, we got the going and everything. And then, me and Dame, because at this time, I was, okay, I'm just joking. It didn't go down that
It wasn't quite that way.
Didn't go quite that way.
You sold it, though. You sold it.
Did he at a discount?
But I did hit her up. I was like, yo, you definitely seem like you have a fun spirit. I don't know how I came across her page. I was like, yo, she would definitely be great to work with. Let's take a chance. I didn't know if she was acting or not, so I did hit her up. we did meet up at a restaurant, which was cool. I don't think I DM'd her. Probably text her because at the time,
texted me
okay, but
while
the
we
way
were
she
sitting in
said
the
it
lobby.
sounded like he went in the IG app and then DM'd me. Okay, that's weird. And then she said I walked in like a weirdo. You see how she
No, you were already
She was throwing a little
there.
shit. I seen it. I caught it.
You were already there. We walked into the lobby and you were sitting over there and we were like looking for you and you were like, I'm over here. Like you like texted me and you're like, I see you. And we were like, he sees us and we don't see. Okay.
Sure.
So that was the first time you guys had collaborated on anything. Was the You Hitting That series?
No, actually,
we did sketches for years before that.
Yeah,
so
about
I think
3-4 years or something like that.
yeah, something like that before. And I think after we met, I found out it was safe. I saw his legs and I was like, okay, you can't take me out.
Okay, guys.
You can't take me out.
She has this whole thing. We were shooting on set, and she was like, "Oh my gosh." I don't know what I said to her that made her. What I say to you?
For what?
When you assume that I can't like.
I think it was like
handle
no, the appearance was not intimidating. So I was like, okay, I feel like I can,
No, I'm talking about on set when you assume that because clearly for years she's had this.
She just felt like she could take you
for years. Like I'm just finding out like 3-4 years later that she's been thinking that she could take me. Like
I was never trying to fight you.
No, I would never try to. Let's get this clear, guys. I don't fight
don't
women.
Don't cancel him. He would never.
Don't cancel me.
No, it's not that.
This is playful fun. Just
he just
friendly
doesn't
fun.
understand my strength, and he challenges me. But Juhahn was the type of person. When I first met Juhahn, he used to pick up every girl when he'd see her.
Now that sounds like I'm a freak.
No, it's weird, but like it wasn't in like a creepy, touchy way. It was just a pickup, like I'm strong, girl. Like, but you would tremble, like when you would
He almost dropped a couple motherfuckers.
Really?
You see his legs kind of buckle.
How you gonna see your legs from while you in the air?
No, not me. I'm talking about all the girls.
Oh,
you
were looking at me pick up other girls, and I was trembling.
And your legs would do like this, and I was just like, oh.
You do look like you don't put in a lot of emphasis on leg day, brother. I'm just at the very minimum, you got to do it sometimes.
And I love that people think that. I was just in the gym last week because they just opened back up, and I had to go ahead and put that 225 on the bench. A lot of people probably in the comments like, you on bench 225? See me, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So one day on set, Audrey was like, I bet you couldn't even get me down to the ground if we was like, tussling. It's like in a playful way. And I was like, oh, really? So like, not the fact that, okay, I will lose, but she wouldn't even think that I can even get her down.
She thought you didn't even have a shot, and you a whole grown man.
Whole grown man.
Come on, man.
What's that say about me fighting another man?
Why you disrespecting him like that, Audrey? Come on, man.
So like the intro that he gave of how we met. Anyway, Juhahn was the one that said that, and I'm looking at him like, they wouldn't sell his thighs at Popeyes. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just am.
Wouldn't sell my legs at Popeyes? They wouldn't even sell my legs at Popeyes?
There would be complaints. There's no meat on this bone. You gave me a bone.
Wow.
Yo, she came for you. She
came at me
ready.
hard.
I was just evaluating by
that's a comedian joke right there. She said I wouldn't even get sold at Popeyes.
Hey, man.
Not even with the biscuit either. They wouldn't even just.
So you're not gonna give them no meat, and you're gonna make them choke?
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
No.
Anyway, so one day we'll have to, go live and then do this whole little contest.
Maybe we could do a whole thing like with the bouncy castle and like do the safe wrestling thing.
Oh yeah, I would watch that. I would
that
referee
would be
it.
so fun.
You should.
I would referee
Doughboy's
it.
going to be the referee.
That would be so dope.
Oh my gosh.
Our own American Ninja. You hitting that warrior?
You hitting that
you
warrior?
hitting that warrior
Versus.
You that warrior?
Okay. Well, let's break down to what you guys should be expecting to see from this podcast.
What are we doing here?
You're gonna see pretty much everything. We're gonna talk about us.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about the movie. We're gonna talk about the show. Every time I post something, people are asking about where's the movie at? Where's the final 2 episodes of You Hitting That? So we'll periodically talk about the brand You Hitting That, but we're also going to talk about topical stuff, what's going on in the world. I'm sure you guys want to learn more about Audra as well.
I want to hear the stories that I know that you guys have, because a lot of people don't know like where you guys come from. People don't know that Juhahn Jones was on The Wire. Different things like that. Like
I think with braids.
I watched. Yeah, he was wild back in. So I think that the fans would love to just know who you guys are, because I think you guys are both very, very complex, interesting people, and the world needs to see this. So that's why I am excited to see this.
Dope boy might have to be the permanent voice on here.
I'm with it.
I'm throwing my hat in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Keep me around.
That doesn't sound like DMX to you?
He like the Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. Speaking of DMX, rest in peace.
Yes.
DMX, how you guys feeling about how did DMX impact you guys' lives?
Ladies first.
For me, being mixed and coming up in such a white upbringing.
First and foremost.
Yes.
Didn't know you were mixed until today. I'm today years old. You mixed.
A lot of people didn't know that she's a halfie here. Nothing wrong with the half mixes. I make up names, guys. I'm sorry. Don't cancel me on that.
April and I together make a whole black person. Okay,
that's right. Put
we
y'all
have half
together.
Asian and half a white.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like,
she's mixed, guys.
Yeah, I'm black and Irish. But I was raised in mostly the white side, and so the music that I was introduced to from my family was more George Strait and Garth Brooks and Hank Williams and like throwback country, all that kind of stuff. So I discovered music on my own around junior high school, and I started listening to stuff like DMX, the Rough Riders anthem. There was a guy that I liked named Trey Bohannon, and I used to hear his car at lunch, and he would be playing that song. So I learned it, and then I started listening to the albums, and I learned all the songs to that particular album, and I was just like, man, like it was just one of my first kind of introductions into real hip hop and what I love.
Your first introduction to hip hop was DMX?
No, not the introduction.
That's a hard lesson right there. What is that? What is that sensation?
It made me feel strong, but it was my first jump into a full album on my own, not just what the radio was providing. Like it was me searching for it, and so he was one of the ones that I was like, oh, okay, and then from there it built, and so I discovered my taste of eclectic music.
Yes.
Oh, wow. DMX is okay, yeah.
It's so sad though.
So basically she's saying, guys, that she didn't grow up knowing who Motown Records was. Have you heard of the Jackson 5? Please tell me you've heard of them.
Yes, I've heard of them.
Only the Christmas songs, guys. Or ABC. You know what I'm saying? The hits. There you go. There you go. What about Temptations? You got to know the Temptations.
I know.
My girl. No?
Yes,
you don't know
I
the
saw that
Temptations?
movie. Yes, I know the Temptations.
Okay.
I don't know them.
She missed out on a lot, guys, but we're going to,
stall her out, man. Stall her out.
It's all right. So we'll catch you up.
My catalog is huge.
Yeah, I bet. So my feelings about DMX was like, it's been a rough 2021, 2020. Yes. We've been losing a lot of people, and it's like, dang, it was kind of like rough for me because I was like, man, we just saw him kill on Versus.
Yes,
killed on Versus, and in a sense, I guess we can say that was his last big performance.
Right.
Digitally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was millions of people tuning in to that. So that was a live performance and he killed it. And I can say that I was proud to be in history to be able to watch him do that. But yeah, it when I heard the news, I was like, cause he's always had, times we had to deal with this, and I saw an interview how he was tricked into even getting into drugs. It's like
sad.
That was wild.
It's rough. Like as you as a kid, you really didn't have a choice to for an addiction. You were tricked into it, and now you had to deal with it for all those years.
And by someone you trusted.
Somebody you trusted. You know what I mean? But he's a legend, man. I remember for me, how I connected to DMX was just kind of like my favorite song was the Rough Riders anthem. I guess that's an easy one.
It's an easy one,
and just his voice, and you would hear him come.
He doesn't sound like him.
He does.
I told you.
But he was just so raw, man. I remember like how I connected to the remix came out, and my homeboys in class, I was in middle school, I believe, and they would like beat on everybody beat on the desk, boom, you know what I'm saying, do the beats, and they were like, my dog's gone, your dog gone, and then we go,
yeah.
First we had it like, well, baby. So we was all just like singing along in class, and you know, it just like it definitely brings me back to a time where, you know, I was, you know, those growing up, you know what I'm saying, and getting into music with outside of your parents and your close friends.
It's your own.
It's like, oh, I'm in school and I'm connecting and everything is cultural. And then I found out that DMX was, you know, when he first came out, I don't know if you guys knew this, but they was like, there was 3 artists that came out that was supposed to be them dudes. And it was DMX, Jay-Z, and Ja Rule. Did y'all know that?
And they were in a rap group.
No, they were.
Did you hear about that?
They were in a rap group.
They were supposed to do a group album, and guess what the album was supposed to be called? Murder Inc. But they ended up starting the Murder Inc. rap label, and that ended up because there's a XXL magazine with Ja Rule, DMX, and Jay-Z on the cover. From like back in '98. I'm a hip hop historian, so yeah, they were supposed to do a group album, but it never happened. I think it was like egos and different things.
And they were supposed to, be the top dudes.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Man.
Yeah, and then he came out and well, you know, 50 came out and kind of took Ja Rule's light and everything. He stomped on that man.
All of his tickets out. Yeah.
Dang, he kind of used the same. It's almost a similar style too. I was like, how you going?
He ridiculed him for doing it, then he did it.
Oh, singing, rapping is, and then come out with
21
candy shop.
It's like, did you just ridicule Ja for this? I think you licked a lollipop.
Like, yo, 21 questions. I was like,
yeah,
that was the most genius robbery in the world, and
ever in front of our faces.
Nobody tripped. They was like, oh, okay, we just gonna let him do this.
Yeah, and everybody just kind of Ja Rule's just kind of. Oh.
Let me ask you guys this: at the height of DMX's career, do you think he was bigger than Jay?
Z?
Yeah. Because DMX was the guy. He had 2 platinum albums in 1 year. It's never been done before or after.
What was that concert he performed at? It was like 100,000 people?
Oh, yeah. I think he...
that huge one.
Yes. That's the video that's going viral. Yeah. So I think when he was big, and Jay-Z wasn't that big. Jay-Z got bigger later. As maybe DMX kind of, you know, faded a little bit. But I feel like when they were both in their prime...
Oh, yeah.
You can make an argument for it.
I thought you meant current.
No. I meant like back then, like 98, 99, 2000.
For sure.
He was a movement.
Right.
DMX definitely was Rough
unique.
Riders, everybody riding around. And then Eve came out. Like, they had a whole squad.
Oh, my God.
Swiss Beats was their guy. Like, they had a whole squad.
I wanted tattoos everywhere. When I saw paw prints.
I think that's when a couple of the motorcycle and movies came out because inspired because of them dudes. Because
the music videos, they always had them. Like,
was he in one of the movies? Was he in?
He was in a lot of movies.
But was he in one of those biker ones? I think I felt like I seen him in one of those rider.
I don't know that we ever seen DMX in a biker movie, which is a travesty when you think about it.
Well, what was your favorite DMX movie?
Well, somebody just told me he was in Romeo Must Die.
Yeah,
but I don't remember where.
He was the main character
with Leah, right?
He was. Yeah, it was his movie.
I was like, Aaliyah. I remember Aaliyah and
it was in it a lot.
Jet Li, right?
Yeah.
And Anthony Anderson.
Yeah.
Where was DMX?
DMX was in the whole movie.
I gotta watch it again. So that would be my favorite movie with DMX.
I guess that would be my favorite movie too. But
I like that movie.
Y'all didn't watch Belly?
I didn't watch Belly, and that's so interesting because Tyron's in Belly.
You didn't watch Belly? Whoa.
Wow.
I've never seen it.
What, nigga? Wait. Stop there. We can stop there. Throw the whole podcast away. Wait. You've never seen Belly?
You have to give me a little break.
We just had
what?
She's that side, half of her side. She's missing that in
have
the household.
You ever
but you're an adult. Like, you've never seen. What else have you never seen? You never seen Belly?
No.
This doesn't strike anybody else as a huge problem.
Did you hear how she said no? No.
Have you ever seen The Sons of Katie Elder?
No.
Wow. It's a Western. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. And that's a big one, I guess. Is that a big one?
I don't know. I was named after a Western, so we all live different lives.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. That's a fun fact.
We got to get you to watch Belly. That's first and
totally
foremost.
I know Tyron is completely offended.
Totally.
that I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, because Tyron's in it.
Tyron's in it with the.
Wait, you guys keep saying Tyron. I don't think
Turner, Menace to Society.
I know, but I don't think the regular people know who Tyron is when you guys are talking. So who is Tyron to you?
Tyron Turner is my friend and writing partner, and we do a bunch of different projects and stuff together. Best friend. Well, you're kind of a best friend too, but you're my best friend right now because we're here. Okay. But he's just very he's very talented. He actually had a movie just come out with Hilary Swank called Fatale, directed by Deon Taylor. And so he's getting back current, but he likes to write and produce and stuff.
And he was Kane in Menace to Society.
He was Kane in Menace to Society.
You guys have to get him as a guest on this show. We have to talk to Kane. That's Kane.
It's Kane. And then he's also, is it Rico? It's Rico from Belly.
Yes, right. He's the one that snitched.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit. Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like him on that movie. I ain't like him. I like that.
The banana and the lips and the glass. I was like, oh. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
No, he killed. No,
what was your favorite DMX song, Audra? What was your favorite one that?
It was probably Rough Riders Anthem, but it was more than that. Like, I was actually trying to bring up.
Let's see if she really know, because she said she heard the whole album. Let's see if she really.
Put it to the test, Juhahn. Put it to the test.
What we got?
Okay.
Because she named the easy one.
Actually, can y'all give me like song titles and I'll tell you if I know it.
Slipping.
I'm slipping. I'm falling. I can't get up.
You said that so white.
I'm slipping.
I can't get up.
I'm slipping. I'm falling, and I can't get up.
She fell into full karaoke mode.
Okay, but yeah, no, I know. What else?
I think you're a bigger DMX fan than I am.
Man.
Juhahn.
Man, these songs.
Did she just Did you just try to call her out? You don't know more?
That put me to the test.
Yeah, I know some songs. I'm gonna make me lose my mind. Up there.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the best thing you could come up with. Yeah. I think we all know that song.
Yeah, you know that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some songs.
Well, yeah, but no, definitely though. Rest in peace to DMX.
Definitely.
Rest in peace, man. He's a legend.
May his legacy
family,
live on.
Kids, yeah.
Yes. I also want to talk about some of the episodes because, we also got to give some juice. This is the first episode, and we want to give some behind the scenes.
For our show.
Before you hitting that, you know what I mean? I want to kind of like, point, what were some of your favorite episodes and experiences shooting you hitting that? Fans want to know.
I mean, like you said, we started it and didn't ever expect it to take off like this. So I thought it was more like a regular sketch type of thing that we were doing, a little bit longer. But I think my favorite part was just building the family that we built, like the crew and everything like that. It's the people that I love. And one of my favorite episodes, besides 4, because I think that's what everybody goes to, but I love the first episode because I feel like it's I have so many people say that's when I discovered you, or like there's some other creepy things, but
I'll piggyback on that too, because a lot of people don't know the origin of how the longer series came about. So of course I was doing the IG videos for like 3-4 years, and I was just at a place where I was like, how can I elevate myself to just expand bigger than what is the expected of me, which was the 60-second video. And I was like, man, how could I do something longer? Can I keep the attention spans of people longer than 60 seconds? Would they really care? How can we do more? So that's when I started linking up with Dame. He actually was encouraging me years ago to do some YouTube videos. I actually started off on YouTube before I did Instagram.
Really?
I had it was called the Juhahn Jones Is Show, my first sketch show.
I remember that.
Really?
Yeah, I did it like in living color type, Dave Chappelle type thing.
We might have to bring some vintage footage on the show.
We're gonna have to,
I would love to see that.
Because that's how it happened. I ended up linking up with Ashley, that used to work at All Def Digital. Remember Ashley?
Right.
So a little short stuff. She brought me over to do a comedy show with All Def Digital, I think at the time.
That's when I was first there too. That's like right around 2015, 2014.
It was early.
Right.
Yeah. And I remember Batch was on that show before Batch blew up. It was me, and it was my first comedy show. And then she moved over to Marlon Wayans with The Funny. Right. He did his digital thing. So I did my smaller show on there, and then that expanded to me going to Vine came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to All Def Digital.
Right.
And then I was like, I almost did, because I put a Vine group together at What the Funny. I almost did the same thing for Instagram when they got their longer videos, 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing y'all history right now.
Yeah, no,
Tell
but you
'em.
remember that? And we
Yeah.
didn't all get 60 seconds at once.
When we got 15 seconds, it was like a lifetime, because we was doing 6-second videos. So it was like, oh, well, I can do so much with this. And then I almost did that same, I wouldn't say mistake, but I almost went down the same road of not concentrating on my brand. And that's when I started to
Yeah, I want you to tell that, because I have a great inspirational story about Juhahn, because I remember when I first met him, I was a brand new over at All Def, so I was just trying to earn my stripes. So I remember him coming in and him being like, look, man, these motherfuckers ain't taking me seriously in these streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not taking my acting seriously. I'm going to have to take over the game on Instagram. Mark my words, I'm going to go get 1 million followers. Now, the reason why I want you to talk about that, where was your mind state at before you made that decision to go do that?
Well, I was at the point where I was like, you know, I've always been somewhat of an independent artist, right? And very focused on what I need to do in my career. And I was very hungry. You know, I moved to LA being an actor before social media came, you know, but I still had that independent side, but I was very much so into the acting, like getting all the headshots, mailing it off to all the casting directors and going to auditions. I remember one time I went, what's his name? What's his Captain Kirk? What's his name?
Captain
Chris Paul? Chris Pine? He plays Captain Kirk. That's his name? You sure that's Chris Pine?
That would be a newer Captain Kirk, right?
I'm talking about the original. William Shatner.
William Shatner.
Yes. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
I was like, Chris Pine, nigga, I think you're wrong.
Yeah, like, no, not him.
Right,
No,
right.
but
William
it's the newer
Shatner.
one,
Okay, William
right.
Because
Shatner.
when I was auditioning, he hadn't got cast. He probably was still on the come up too. But he had a casting, had an office on Ventura. So I was dropping my headshots off, and I was at the casting director, and I saw him. He was like on the phone in the back, and I had my headshot envelope, and I knocked on the door, and I was like, hey. I'm basically signaling like where I put my envelope at, and he was like, and I was like, oh, okay. So I'm walking, because I'm like, oh, maybe it's not right here. It's like at the next door. I'm walking down the sidewalk, and I'm walking all the way to Ventura Boulevard, and I look around. I'm like, ain't no door. Did this motherfucker just point me to the street? I hate Captain Kirk. Used to be my hero. This my Captain Kirk just pointing me to the street.
He told you to get the hell out of his face.
He did it. He mimicked me though. He mimicked how I did it and did it the other direction. Like I was like, yo, Captain Kirk is an asshole. Wow. But those are the experiences that I had. And then I was just coming up in the game. And then social media came. I was doing stuff. I used to drive party buses.
Wait, what?
Yes, he did.
You used to drive party buses?
Yes, I used to drive party buses. Actually, before I came to Cali, I got the CDL because I was working for the government.
What's a CDL? The streets don't know what that
that's
is.
commercial driver's license.
Okay.
Where you're able to drive. I had a
Trucks.
Class B license where you're able to drive trucks and Greyhounds and all that. You know, it's crazy trying to parallel park a Greyhound bus. The stories I have with that stuff. Can you imagine? Because they don't have no back window.
Right.
So you just really
That's
using
like
mirrors.
that's like trying to parallel park a U-Haul.
Yo,
I hate that.
it's crazy.
Right.
It was the most. I never sweat so hard on a driving test in my life. It was that. But so I got that, and I came to LA because I started working at IKEA. I think I got fired from IKEA, bro.
Really?
I don't think from IKEA.
Right.
Bro, I don't know. I was just like I was working there for like 2-3 weeks, a month or so, and I guess I don't know. I don't know if I was late or if I wasn't.
You were definitely late.
And what year was it that you moved to LA?
Man, I think that was 08.
So you've been here since 08.
I think I've been here for yeah.
And Audra, tell us, when did you get to LA and what was your path to getting into the game? And tell us a little bit about your experience into the game.
I came in 2014. And
where were you coming from?
I was coming from Texas.
Okay.
Texas.
My children's father, we were together at the time. Well, we weren't together at the time, but we moved here together because he was in the military and he had to come here. And I didn't want the kids to be away from their dad.
Right.
So I was like, okay, we'll make it work. I already knew
So what was life
Wayans.
before then out there? Was it just
Out
full-time
there, I was
mom?
a full-time mom
Got it.
majority of the time, and I made money, but I don't really know how. It
That
just
sounds
came
exciting.
to me.
That sounds exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it just came to me. It was
Right.
crazy. But so yeah, so
Money
I
here.
knew I came out here and I knew Marlon Wayans, and he put me in classes with Dustin Felder, who rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yes.
Goodness.
Shout out Dustin.
And I visited Dustin like 2 weeks before it happened. Like I visited him in the hospital.
Oh wow.
And we were talking. He was like, "We need to do a show. Like I've been telling you." Anyway, but so Marlon put me with them, and then Marlon ended up putting me in like every background scene in 50 Shades of Black. I had like, I had lines, and you know they had so much footage they had to end up cutting it. But I met Callie Hawk there, I met Mike Epps, and from there I went on to kind of do just different projects.
Now, was that always the goal for you to get into entertainment like your whole life? Was that the dream? Was that?
It was my dream, but I come from a family that's very logical, and so it was kind of like, well, you know, that's chasing a dream, you know, and you need to have your feet on the ground. So when I got here, I was actually headed to dental school to become a dentist.
Wow.
And I had
Wow. Could
yeah.
you guys
You have a beautiful
imagine
smile,
that?
by the way. You have a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
Is that why you want to be a dentist? Because your own teeth, or your
No. I wanted to be a surgeon originally, and I can't do blood very well, and that doesn't work. So I was like, teeth. I like to clean dirty things. I'm one of those people that watches the videos
She
where you
does.
pop bumps and pull hair.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
disgusting. Why do
Love
people watch
it.
that? Why do people watch Zit Buster stuff like that?
Because it's gratifying. You're cleaning something out that shouldn't be there.
Oh.
So
That's how you justify it.
Yes. And so I
I
was
can't
like,
watch it.
some people need their teeth cleaned by someone else. So I was just like, oh, okay, I would love to do that. I'd love to do a root canal. I'd love to do any of that. But when we got here, I couldn't go. I was living on Edwards Air Force Base out by Palmdale and Lancaster.
Oh yeah.
So I could not go to UCLA back and forth every day to do lab work for, you know, my degree. So I was like, I called Marlon. He was like, let's do this. And it started rolling.
And so
it's-
you walked away from a promising career in dental hygiene, and
No,
you
a
said,
dentist.
as
doctor.
a dentist. So you were
Yeah.
gonna do that, and you said, "I'm gonna go tell jokes and be funny." That takes a lot of heart. I
does.
respect
It
that.
does.
Guys,
It
could you
does.
imagine that? Could you imagine like you was going to get your teeth cleaned and the areolas just like over your face?
Oh, and I still plan on getting my dental degree, by the way.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. I'm not
Nice.
gonna waste all that time for nothing.
You gotta finish what you started.
All right.
Okay.
Well, she might still be over
Go do a
your
movie and then come
face.
do your
That's
root
just
canal.
it's always so interesting to hear people's back. That's why I knew that you got. Oh, make sure you're looking at him because I thought.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but I think that's always fascinating to hear, like when you're a fan of somebody, like the weird path that it takes to get here, like
Right.
IKEA dental surgeon, like dentist. That's just super dope.
Oh, that was just the beginning of IKEA, and it was funny because right after I got fired, I claimed unemployment, and I claimed Cali and Virginia because I had just
Tried
left.
to double up.
So I was getting paid. I had saved up a nice amount of money up here, and I was getting like thank you, Obama. I was getting like $950 every other week, and my car was paid off. So I was having the perfect actor's life of trying to hustle and grind and focus on my career. But to piggyback on the question that you asked, where was my mindset? You know, I had always been hustling in the game and trying to do it, but I also had filmed a couple of those episodes of the Juhahn Joe's Is Show, and I had this huge launch party out here in Hollywood when I actually had the full season. Robert Townsend came out. Omarion was there. It's funny the connection now, but I remember Omarion was at the launch party, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
Y'all was at your launch party?
He was at my launch
That's
party.
a big deal.
That's huge.
Like 750 people came out to that. I was like putting
Wow.
flyers on cars, and I was a hustler, you know.
Yeah.
I was texting. I'm still able to have big parties because of that mentality, but I was really going, and for some reason that was like the first big party, but I knew it was going to be that way before it happened.
Right.
You know, it's like you just had those visions.
That's
People
how I
ask like,
am.
how you know
I
it's
already
going to
know.
be? Yeah, how you know it's
Yeah.
going to be big?
So you seen it before you saw it.
Yeah, it's like I can't tell you how, but I know at the end of this tunnel it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Just like I know you married that gonna be crazy, you know. I can see it. But yeah, Omarion was there at the end of the night, and I was trying to. Somebody was like, "Yeah, introduce you." They was trying to introduce me to Omarion, and it's funny the stories that they tell, especially like Cat Williams was probably talking about in his stand-up special. He always dancing.
What?
He really be always
He
dancing.
always dancing because while I was trying to introduce they was trying to introduce me, he was dancing with this girl. He was like, doom, 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 doom. And he was like, 1 second, brother, let me finish this battle right quick. I was like,
He had to get his steps off.
I guess he really wanted to beat this girl in his dance battle, and he was like, "1 second." I'm like,
it was a dance battle. He wasn't
was-
like dancing with her.
He was like, he was.
You know what, Marion ain't trying to
he
lose
ain't
no
about to
dance
dance.
battle.
Oh, I thought you said Cat Williams.
No.
Was
He's talking. No, he
battling
said
a
Cat
girl.
Williams was talking about
He was
Omarion.
talking about that in one of his specials. How he's always dancing.
He said that it's true. He can confirm it.
I can confirm
Wow.
that he didn't want to.
So what year was this? Because this is, I'm assuming, when Omarion is still hot.
This was around, this is around, like, I think Touch, and it was around when he had just went solo. Icebox, you know. I had an icebox in that moment. I was like, oh, wow. I'm sitting there at the start of the night, and I'm just waiting for this brother to finish dancing to say hello. I'm like, okay.
He got to finish his routine.
Yeah, okay. I should have showed that clip. You would have saw that.
Hilarious.
But yeah, when I got to the point of having all the followers, I was like, man, I needed to go bigger. I want to like I'm tired of waiting on, like, if my agents are going to submit me, and like we came up in a time of actors where they tell you got to get used to more yeses, more no's than yeses. You have to basically deal with that. And I had my first agent tell me, like, well, it's going to take about 8 months for you get in the system to go out on auditions regularly.
Wow.
So you're basically telling a young cat that he needs to deal with 8 months of his life. He's really not going to work.
As if
like
rent
that.
ain't due every month.
Right.
This is regular. This is regular.
To get into the system, though?
Yeah, to get into the system. So I'm like, all right. So I was like, let me just build up. So if I'm still gonna do the traditional route. But while you guys are waiting to get your stuff together to realize what I got going on, I'm going to continue to build up my following and my brand every day and get stronger.
Right.
And maybe you guys will recognize. And so much stuff has came from that, working
So
with
much.
Audra on this, which started from a show to a movie, my first film, working with Kevin Hart, Marlon Wayans, Russell Simmons, everybody. It's the respect that we gain working together and just believing in yourself. I feel like if people just take a chance on themselves.
Sometimes that's better.
It's better that way.
People get scared to take a chance on.
And that's where I was with You Hitting That. Like when we did You Hitting That. Oh yeah, you can keep her up on. Yeah, I love. You can see us both at the same time. I love because we talking about the story of You Hitting That. So when I got to the point of, like, I had an epiphany because we had not that epiphany didn't come yet, but when we did You Hitting That. Dane was like, who can we get? Because we got this show. It's not a show. It's just do a sketch. Let's do some long stuff. Well, who would fit the girl next door type feel, but still have the sex appeal at the same time? And I was like, that's a tough one. And doesn't have ego.
Hilarious.
So you want talented, fine,
and
sexy,
down to earth.
and down to earth.
You're asking a lot.
You asking a lot, dang. And I worked with a lot of girls, but I was like, let me think. And then
You worked with every girl on Instagram.
It's funny to say, like, people joke about, like, oh yeah, you brought up a lot of these girls. I did work with a lot of girls where they had 10K and then they do video and then they gain like 10,000 followers and then they continue growing and then the other people in my class of influencers, they slide in DMs like, oh, we should work. They get in the system. And now
system.
They all, and it's funny if you look like a lot of the girls that I start working with in the beginning, they range right now from 150 to 200. Mark my words. You just go ahead and go back and they all are around that. That's how you know that they did some work with your boy.
Yeah.
Well,
I had that too.
From that. Yeah.
I had that too originally.
Yeah.
So,
until the page went. Audra.
But what
Follow
happened?
Audra.
What happened to the page?
Well, I guess according to their guidelines,
What was you posting?
You're supposed to. I don't know if you're supposed to tag everybody in the videos, but I was just reposting videos that everybody else was already reposting.
She's posting some crazy stuff sometimes, guys.
So what happened? So Instagram started tripping?
They
took her page.
They took your.
That's
That's why I wasn't. Because I thought I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Because I was following. I was like, I didn't unfollow you. So they took your page
They
down
took my page.
Disabled that thing.
They
because you were
disabled it.
reposting other
Videos.
content.
And people were flagging me all the time.
Wow,
And
that's
I was
crazy.
at 170 or something like that. And which is nothing compared to you, but still.
Nah, but you had loyal fans. Your fans.
Super loyal. And so when I finally 5 months later decided to start another page, I was just like,
They still love you though. They
Wait.
still
We can't just scooch past that. You lost 179,000
Or no, I think it was closer. It might have been 180 something. Yeah, but it was. It was.
And you had to start completely over. What did that feel like? Did that just that had to be a little damaging to your psyche?
It wasn't necessarily damaging to my psyche because I didn't put I can be me anywhere, but it was just after all the work of gaining the followers and putting so many things up there. I had personal videos and photos and things that I can never get back. But I was just confused as to why. So that's why I kind of boycotted for a while. We actually asked some of our more influential friends to help get the page back.
You had a whole campaign?
We had a campaign. I don't know what happened, but it didn't work. So I'm sitting at like 30,000 now on.
She gonna get him back.
She gonna get him back.
Gonna find her.
I don't care as much anymore though. So it's like, yeah, if you guys enjoy me, but all the loyal ones are there. They're there.
Yeah, no, she has some loyal fans. But I was like, like I was saying, who could do that? Who could play that role for this? You hitting that situation, and I was like, hit up Audra. Check out Audra. And I sent him your page. He's like, oh, okay. Hit her up. You see where it goes. And then we did the first episode of you hitting that. And well, actually, we have some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into the proceedings this
roll
evening.
That beautiful bean footage.
Ew.
Brother, show them what. So yeah, this is the first episode. And for a lot of people, they don't know.
Hold on, explain.
Can they hear me too? They can hear us
Yeah.
too at the same time. Yeah. They don't know that this this is the moment Juhahn is a fool. Look, yeah, this is the moment that got everybody like, who is Ariel? Oh, the slow-mo. And that was the first time Algie had sent me his song.
The song.
The song that everybody loves. They love I Want You Back on It, Girl. And it's funny how that story happened was he had sent me that song because he was like, oh, it's another shot that, we wasn't trying to go crazy, y'all. But, Juhahn fell into the moment. We was like, go ahead and show the sauce. But Algie had wanted me to promote Algie Smith, he, talented actor, musician as well. He's done tons of things. Look him up. But he's the creator of that song. He was like, I want you to promote this song. I didn't really know what to do with it yet, but I knew that it was fire.
It was fire.
I just didn't, do a Instagram video for it. Then when we got to editing the show, I put it in there. It just felt right to do it, and everybody loved it. And then Dane was like, because at the end of the song of this first episode, I was going to use as the main song.
The one at the end of this episode?
At the end of this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like, she's wet. She's wet and ready. Wet and ready.
I'm like,
yeah. So it felt perfect for the energy of the show. Of you being that cousin that's kind of like seducting me all the time. But Dane was fighting me down like, nah, man, all yours. That's the song, bro. Yeah. That's the one. We should use that. And I was like, you sure? He was like, bro, I'm telling you, man, just trust me on this. And I was like, all right, Dane. So we start using it more, which led to, because it started being on the credits. Mm-hmm. So it was
started in the intro and everything.
Well, we didn't have the intro yet. We just played the music consistently.
Oh, at the end,
at the end, and then we start playing it throughout the episode, and then we had the credits come with like Full House, and then that's when people really went crazy because we got to we shot in these expensive looking houses. Not even expensive looking; they were expensive.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know how expensive this show was to make.
You came out of the pocket.
Came out the show.
Yeah, you came out of your pocket.
Came out the pocket for this show. But yeah, this show wasn't supposed to be nothing longer than just nothing more than an elongated skit.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see how long people would check it out, check me out. And we did a couple more. It wasn't until like the third or fourth episode that it kind of took off.
Yeah.
Because like overnight, it was like maybe 100,000. It set on 150,000, 200,000 views for like almost a couple weeks, few weeks. Then all of a sudden, it just shot up and went to like 1 million or close to 1 million and just kept growing. And I was like, and I don't know, I think it got suggested. It got connected to, I think, Big Ja. You guys know him as Big
Shout
Ja.
out Big Ja.
You know what I'm saying? Ja, he the homie. But I think it got connected to one of his videos as suggestion. A lot of people tell me I found you through one of Big Ja's videos. It just slid down. So I think it got connected to one of his famous ones. I think the lesbian.
Yeah, the gay homegirl.
The lesbian homie
yeah.
ones. That was going crazy for him. And I think you hitting that got connected to there.
Okay.
And once it blew up from there, people just taggled on to the story,
Right.
and it just kept going crazy.
We became their kind of weekly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then they wanted them longer. I think my favorite, well, I'll say, I feel like the most, you can bring episode 4 up. Episode 4 is the fan favorite. It's
Shameful.
sitting at like, it's shameful, huh? Tell your experience of shooting this episode. I think this is sitting at like 4 million.
Nice.
Four
That's very
million
impressive
views.
for a sketch.
Yeah,
It's very impressive.
Yeah, and this is when we got.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, don't like. Oh, I didn't see this one. Oh, this was.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people. I don't know why people like this episode so much. Like,
I don't either.
I don't. It's like we was just having fun, and it's it's just don't try to get. She's blushing, guys.
Because you know how uncomfortable I was doing this in the first place.
Yeah,
But
no,
it was
hey guys,
y'all.
don't cancel me because don't make it seem like I'm the director or
made me
producer
do it.
forcing her to do this. I didn't. She just we had some fun. The character, the moment called for this, and
Yeah.
it was just hilarious.
It was, yeah.
It was
worked
hilarious
out.
because you got into the scene, you were acting goofy and stuff. So we know how this became one of the most favorite episodes. This first season for me, my favorite episode was you can go to the next one when we introduced your boy Gay Dre.
Gay Dre.
Played
Gay
by
Dre.
Norm Nixon. He's a super talented brother. He was in another one of my projects. Actually, a lot of people, fun fact about this one, the character Dre came from, Hess was supposed to play.
Really?
Hess that plays Sam was supposed to play Dre. He actually helped come up with the idea. He was like, yo, it'd be funny if Juhahn was going on dealing with a guy who was like really trying to he didn't come up with that. He came up with the idea of episode 8 in second season, but he was supposed to play Dre.
That's interesting. Because we had Carrie Boy too.
Exactly. So a lot of people don't know Carrie Boy, who does a lot of shooting, we shot him playing Dre.
Yep.
And the footage went bad.
Yep.
We lost all the sound on it, and he had to go out for a funeral to he killed it. He did his thing.
Yeah, he did a great job.
But when we had to keep on shooting, y'all were waiting for it. He was out of town, and I was like, who could play this? And I forgot that Norm was in my. He just had this funny flamboyant character in the Juice, my trailer, and I was like, he can do it. And he sent. I looked on his page, and I asked him. It's kind of hard to ask people how to, especially a man that's not gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but like asking a man who's clearly not, can they play? Because a lot of people feel a certain way.
Right.
Black men feel a certain way about wearing dresses or wearing wigs or playing gay. So I was like trying to like beat around the bush. Like, I got this funny character. Like he's straight. He love women. Just know that. But he's trying to get this girl, and he's acting, he's like, spit it out. And, I was like, yeah, he's acting gay. He's like, man, I kill it, man. I play it, man. I mess around.
And he did.
Yeah, and he came through, and he killed it. He ended up becoming, Dre ended up becoming a fan favorite of the series because it was like that yin and yang.
Yeah, it was the balance, the constant like
rivalry
between the two of you, and like the looks and everything, and how he becomes straight, and then the gangster
his
music would come
switch.
on.
I think the genius,
crazy.
and I knew when this character was created, because Hess was like, I wouldn't be able to do it justice. You need somebody that can play hard just as much as they can play gay. Like and no one was able to accomplish both sides and switch it on the drop of the dime. That was the comedy for me, and I think a lot of people caught on to that when they saw like, wow, this guy.
Okay, girl. Yeah, nigga.
Yeah,
like, it was
just
like,
like
oh my god.
The nuance.
The switch.
Yeah.
The switch was crazy. It's like, how do you? It's like you kind of mentally messed up in the head to be able to just switch voices like that. So yeah, that was one of my favorite episodes, and
You know what I think works well with you two like that, like are opposites of each other when you guys act together. And I was telling Audra this before because I've been waiting for the opportunity to work with her because I just feel like she just has those intangibles, like the things you can't teach. And I think, you know, you as well, Juhahn, like both of you guys have those things that you can't necessarily learn in an acting class. Like I tell people all the time, like, you know, like Juhahn is one of the dopest physical actors because he can deliver a line without saying anything. You know what I'm saying? Like he's such an expressive character. And then when Audra comes in, like, you know, she offsets that so much, like, because she's sexy, but like she's confident.
It's loud in her eyes.
Exactly.
Eyes.
But then she's funny too, like, but she doesn't take herself too seriously.
Yeah.
That's why I really think it works. I feel like you guys have something super dope with the chemistry you guys have
I think you hit
together.
it right on the nail, dope boy. Like it's a lot of people can see it in her eyes. Like, yeah, she ain't trying to do extra, but she's fine and sexy, lovable, and down to earth. Like people can relate to her. Like, oh, okay, she's not going to be like on some, oh, you got to buy me this, and or you want some bougie. It's like, hey, let's watch a movie. Let's just, you know, eat popcorn. Let's walk around with no shoes on.
My goal is to be a sugar mama at some point. Like that's what I don't need somebody to take care of me. I want to take care of me.
That's a dope goal.
I really do.
All right, you about to have a lot of applications.
Hey, you little young nigga.
Yeah, you about to have a lot. Hey, DM her. You about to have so many DMs.
What you want for Christmas?
You about to have so many DMs.
No, like,
right?
and that's another thing that I always say, because and let me know what you think about this, Audra. I've always felt that women that are funny, women comedians, they have a tougher job because it's so difficult. Because as a pretty woman, like if you know, if a woman goes and she's doing comedy at a comedy club, right? Yeah. You're dealing with the women and they're just automatically looking at you like, who is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? And women can become standoffish with other, like, do you ever deal with, you know, with your looks maybe sometimes being a detriment to being funny? Because I've always had a theory about that, like, there's never like really like gorgeous comedians. You see what I'm saying? That are women.
This is the thing is I see people like Sofia Vergara. I see people that are they're just it's their personality. I didn't grow up cute. Like if I showed you child pictures, y'all would be like, oh, like, oh, okay, white people that use lotion. That's okay. Look at her kneecaps. But like, so I had to develop personality in the first place, and it wasn't like a hard thing to do. But I guess looks kind of came after. Followed whatever. You know you fine now. Come on, let's just talk about it. You know you fine. Listen, there's always somebody prettier. There's always somebody. So but that stuff is so superficial, and it's fun to surprise people. So when they have an expectation and they're like, oh, I expected you to be stuck up, or I expected you, and I'm like, no.
It's a breath of fresh air. You can get a beautiful woman that actually doesn't make you feel like I have to be a certain type of guy. Right. You're just genuinely looking at me as a human being.
Easy to approach.
Yeah, it's fun that way. You're supposed to have fun, and I try to be as lighthearted as possible, and so everybody's different. But
I think that's why people fell in love with your character, because that is you as a person and your personality, but you brought that to your character, and people was really looking at you like, man, I think I got a shot at this.
They definitely
get over, Juhahn. Get out the way, brother. Because, you know, I see it in her eyes, but I can, you know, she's wifey. I can, you know, I ain't got to worry about the superficial
She don't know it yet, but she don't
know it. A lot of people were saying that in the comments. She don't know it. And what she said, and the DMs. I bet.
Well, let me ask you guys this. For the fans that you guys have of the You Hitting That series, where does it stand now? Like, how many episodes are left? Are the people waiting for something? Is there a new season coming? What's the updates and the deets?
Well, yeah, a lot of people ask this all the time. I cannot post anything without people getting on my back about You Hitting That and Killer Bay. Like, it's like, oh, like, it'd be something new and fresh. And they'd be like, well... That's nice, but where that movie at? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Especially because people donated up to $30,000 for the film, and I'll thank you guys for that. And
Kelvin.
Kelvin,
shout out
put
Kelvin.
Out just $10,000 or more, and everybody who donated. All the people paid like $1,000 just to get speaking roles in the movie. We got like 4 or 5 people do that, and they were in the movie. We're in post right now, so you know we're at the rear end.
Because people don't understand how long movies take to actually. It sometimes can take years for a movie to actually drop,
especially on the independent level. Like guys, we said that we was going to be able to do this for $20,000, and we got it for $30,000. Man, I'm gonna tell you guys, That 30,000 was gone the first week.
Oh my goodness.
All right, it was gone the first week, and I don't even think we had even got close to getting all the locations. So luckily we had, investors come in. Shout out Tim and everybody else that came on and donated and put it in, like the Baltimore crew. Like we had a beautiful situation. So you guys are going to be very happy with the finished product. We're aiming for it to come out in the summer. We want to do a huge kickoff launch party in Atlanta. Nice. And then we want to get some sponsors, Ciroc or Smirnoff or whoever, to do like a little mini tour, so we can hit other cities like DC, my hometown, Chicago, Detroit, Houston, LA, of course. Like we want to do a little mini tour. We want to do a weekend takeover. Like we do like a Friday, the launch party, after party right after that to go crazy, then do like a comedy show on that Saturday and do another after party.
Right.
And, fly out, or on Sunday do a little cookout. So that's coming. Nice. A lot of people asking about the final 2 episodes.
I know.
You want to explain to why we didn't?
No, because I don't really know.
You knew why we didn't finish the final 2 episodes.
Why? Was it because of the camera? There was another problem, right? Wait, was that it? Oh, pandemic.
Yeah.
Pandemic happened.
Something called a pandemic.
2020 happened.
Yeah, the pandemic.
Made things interesting.
Yeah.
Was that it? That was really the only...
That was pretty... Well, because we... for all you guys that don't know, we surrounded the second season about my actual show or movie, The Juice. It's about Jerry curls. We incorporated that within season 2, and I actually did a real life launch party. That was another big party. Now that was over 1,000 people at that launch party, and Jerry curls everywhere, juice everywhere. But we incorporated that in the show, and leading up to the final episodes, we're supposed to reenact not 1,000 people. But I'm trying to see if I can get 100 people at a nice little venue or something. Okay. Which I think we could do. Yeah. But that's the case. We couldn't do that because the pandemic happened. COVID came out and everything was crazy. We couldn't go out the house. We couldn't do
still anything. Tough to do that now.
It's still tough. Right. Like I don't even know if it's the right time to do it now because you only can have 30 people in here. Like that's whack. So that's what stopped us. But things are finally starting to open back.
Right.
The world is back open.
The world. How you feel about that?
It's weird. I actually got comfortable at home because I'm kind of a homebody in the first place, but then I started missing things that I didn't do before.
What did you miss the most during the pandemic?
Going out to eat.
Greedy
and
ass.
Working. I can eat, boy.
She can eat, guys. Get her a plate.
Meat.
Oh,
hey,
wait a minute.
Hey,
Wait a minute.
There you go.
Wait a minute.
Right.
Steak.
Speak on it.
Yeah, she said steak. She sounded like an Arby's commercial.
We have the meats. What did you miss the most, John?
Hilarious. Me, man, I really miss the freedom of just being human. You know what I mean? It was some pretty crazy times when it first hit, man. I tell you, I thought the world was going to end. I thought the world was ending.
Wow, you were one of those.
You always get like bad news when it's raining. Like in all the movies, the bad news hits and it's raining. It was raining outside.
They got cancer,
bro.
Who was gonna give us the news that the world was ending?
When they was telling everybody they had to this is this new outbreak and you got to kind of stay inside the house.
Oh, I felt like that.
It was a rainy day.
Yes.
It was cloudy. I remember rushing to the grocery stores and it was raining outside. It was like and just all the stuff we had to deal with, like the tanks going by, just passing through a lot of stuff that you had your mind going on. You just couldn't do anything. Like I felt like we was on house arrest for like a year and we weren't criminals.
It was
unnatural. I might as well did the time and did some crimes. And if I'm gonna be in jail, like you scared to go outside. When I say the inhumane part, it's like it's that weirdness that became prevalent in everybody's conversation, talking to people maybe you weren't as close with, but you were friends with. But now this whole situation is they kind of talking to you differently. Like they don't want to like be too close to you. It's the awkwardness of do we dap, or it was
less personal.
It was beyond a dap. It was more like the let me kind of
like the elbow stuff, and
let me not be around you as much. So I miss going to the movie theaters.
I miss that.
A lot of people are homebodies, like you're a homebody, but I like the experience, bro.
Didn't you go by yourself? Like when they
sometimes
opened up,
I wouldn't mind going by myself.
Oh yeah, I go to the movies by myself.
You just went too, didn't you?
Yeah. I just went to the movies 2 weeks ago for the first time in so long. I also miss getting massages. Like, as I work out a lot, and my girl don't like giving me massages. You know what I'm saying? She don't do them long enough. I'll be like, I need 90 minutes.
Yeah, I need the business.
Deep tissue.
Right.
I'll pay you, baby. No, I'm good. No, it was crazy, man. It was definitely one of those things where it was like, man, and everybody was passing away. It was a crazy, crazy time. It was a very. Are
you guys getting comfortable with what the new normal is starting to look like now? Like life after this pandemic, like. I feel like a lot of things aren't going back to normal, like schools, churches. Like a lot of things are going to be different.
The schools is crazy.
It's
man.
crazy right now.
I don't even think it should be legal to have kids
in the schools
to have to homeschool. That's not cool.
Yeah,
it's
crazy. It's crazy.
I remember April was telling me one time because she got 2 little ones.
Right, the little bitty ones.
Yeah, they both had school at the same time. So she had to put one kid in one room with the laptop and another kid in a room with the laptop. It's like,
yeah, that's what mine do.
It's a whole ordeal.
That's what, yeah. So
it makes you spend time with your kids.
It does. It does. I feel like we got closer over the time. But
at least your kids are a little bit, older.
That's why with her kids, they run.
Those younger kids,
have to be
frantic, and you got
to all that energy.
You got literally 8 hours. You got to sit.
It's unnatural to be around anybody all the time. That's what I feel like. And it just makes you look at yourself. It forces you to deal with your shit,
bro. Yeah. It makes you gain a respect for those teachers in school too, like,
and make you gain some weight too, because nobody was working out.
Oh my God!
Like you really had to learn, like, how much did you really want to have that body, like trying to create them home exercises versus just going to the gym.
It
like
ain't the same.
Everybody went about that life, man.
Oh, but guess what? I have a bombshell of an announcement for you guys.
Ooh.
Guess what?
What?
You guys made it through your first episode. We just hit our time. Look at that, how quickly you guys have done it. We have actually gone over on the time. So listen, this is the first episode. How do you guys feel getting through it? Like, this is the first time you guys have done this. How do you feel?
Great.
I feel like we're about to make history. This is going to be fun. This is going to be what the people want to see. I get a chance to tell myself about talk my life a little bit more. So it's Audra. I feel good.
How'd you feel, Audra?
It's fun, and I'm with people that I'm super comfortable with, so it just makes it easy for me to open up. So y'all gonna hear some stuff.
And and what I would encourage everybody watching to do, please hop in the comments, like the video, share the video, but hop in the comments, give us the feedback. What type of stuff do you guys want to hear from Audra, from Juhahn? Like, what do you guys want? What do you guys want this to be? Because we want to give you what you want. Why don't you all tell them where they can find you guys, and log us up out of here.
Go ahead.
I am on Instagram again.
Follow her again.
It's still Audra Lachelle, but it's Audra Lachelle K now. Yes. And then Audra Lachelle everywhere else. Twitter. What else do I have? I don't have TikTok and Facebook.
Follow her, guys, because just follow her. Follow me at Juhahn Jones at everything. We're here. We ain't going nowhere. Like I said, the movie, the show's coming, and a lot of more stuff. Put in the comments what you want us to talk about. And
we have Doughboy.
I'm just here as a good friend. Like
Doughboy, like the Godfather.
Thing is, I'm like super busy these days, but I'm like, once I found out what this podcast was gonna be, I was like, listen, I want to be involved. So I'm here just as a fan first, just to be letting y'all know. I think you guys got something solid, and I can't wait to tune in next week.
Hey, we lit. So thank you guys for tuning in to You Podcasting That. I don't think maybe she says it better than me. Love y'all.